Max Olmo here, and today we're having another episode of our Primum podcast program. And today, guest, we're having a really good friend of mine that is the creator of the Red Fox playing cards, a huge progress that project that was really successful last year. Yeah, man, Kelly, thank you for your time, and
Thanks for having me.
it's an honor to have you here in the program. So yeah, to the people that don't know you, gave them a little bit of introduction of who you are and what you do.
It's well, like you mentioned, the I guess you could say the creator of Red Fox playing cards brand. It's a brand of cards that my wife and I started at the beginning of 2019, and she does all the artwork, and I'm in charge of the promotion and all the behind the scenes. Getting the cards made up, and we're running a Kickstarter for version 2. And we've got version 1, version 1.1, and version 2 is our third deck of cards. The first two
Yeah, the
went
third.
went pretty well. So, and they come with a couple of the versions come with these red decoder glasses, which are as far as I know, never been done before in the card world.
Hmm.
That helps people learn the marking system, but they're not needed for the marking system on our decks, but it helps to learn the system. And we also have one of our versions is an unmarked deck as well for playing poker and card games and that. But the other ones are I guess designed first for the magician, but for the card collectors and the cardist tree guys as well. So
Yeah, man. I mean, your project was really, really big, successful. The Red Fox playing card, the first edition, got founded in less than 12 hours, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I
that's
mean,
right.
that's amazing. Less than 24 hours, man. That was a really big success. Talk to me about how you felt when you got that. When you check on your notification that your project was founded in less than 24 hours. Man, that's considering on the card community on how many projects are getting on Kickstarter every day.
Yeah.
That's really, really good first step for being, your first project. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, exactly. We were quite overwhelmed and very humbled, very thankful to the card community and how they supported it. We're a couple from Canada that what even a year before the Kickstarter, I didn't even know what Kickstarter was. I thought it was like a charity fundraising type of program, but yeah, we had no idea how it was going to go, and it was like you said, it was our first project. A couple months before the Kickstarter, I started an Instagram account. I had 2 followers, after and it grew. I think we had about 600 followers by the time we launched, and that was our main initial boost, I guess, is from a lot of the Instagram community, and then as well as the people that came across it on Kickstarter, and but yeah, very minimal resources, and we were just overwhelmed and super happy that it took off like it did. So we're anticipating an even bigger launch on version 2. Um, so we're excited about that. So
Yeah, man. To be honest, I love the design, and to be honest, that you told me before that the playing cards that you designed were hand drawn, right? You
yeah,
design and hand draw it. Can you imagine how much work you have to put to design every single playing card hand draw? That's got to be really tough because that's a unique technique that not a lot of people use in the terms of design playing cards. Talk to me why you choose that way when you were designing your playing cards.
well, we when we started the process, my wife is the one that was hand drawing the cards, and to tell you the truth, we didn't know of any other ways. We never I wasn't involved with Instagram uh,
Mhm.
before this project or anything on social media. Like I said, I didn't know what Kickstarter was. Um, I didn't even have a history of collecting cards or anything like that, really.
Yeah.
So when we went into this, everything was kind of brand new. So my wife, the artist, said, "You know what? How about I just do things the way I know how to do things," and she drew the card and then scanned it into Photoshop and did the editing in Photoshop with the scanned pencil crayon drawings and kind of put it all together. So it's sort of created itself out of a necessity, I guess, in the sense that we we couldn't copy anybody else because we didn't know what else was out there. So we just did it our own way, and that's how it came to be. So
Yeah, man, that's a really unique way on how to make a playing card design, and not everyone has the patience that obviously you need to have to do that. So yeah, talk to me. You are I've seen on your Instagram post that you are also a airplane pilot.
yeah,
Airplane pilot is a profession that takes a lot of time of your life. How you manage time with the playing card brand and time with the work, because obviously you're flying the whole country, and obviously with this COVID situation, obviously uh I think that you're not flying that much. So before that, talk to me how you manage that time, how you manage, okay, I have to do this in the work, I have to do this thing for playing card brand. And because that's have to be tough, because I'm studying mechanical aviation, and that's in the aviation community, something that takes a lot of time. Talk to me about that.
yeah. It's I'm actually very fortunate in the aviation job that I have at the moment. Um,
Yeah.
and it's I fly with FedEx. Um,
Okay.
so with the whole COVID-19, actually, my job has been fairly steady actually because I'm flying boxes and shipments. So I'm flying medical supplies as well, and so I'm sort of a necessity during the COVID-19 times. So it's been, as far as flying goes, it hasn't slowed down at all during COVID-19 for me. It's been steady, but at the same time, um, the schedule that I have for my job is probably the best in the aviation industry in the sense that um, it's I fly single pilot operations and I do day trips, so I'll actually be home the evenings that I do fly. And I have time in between my shifts at the hotel where I'll rest, and sometimes I'll do a little bit of Red Fox stuff at the hotel as well. Um, at the same time, though, it's my actual flying days. Yeah, believe it or not, I fly about 8 days a month. So I'm essentially I say I'm semi-retired just with
Okay.
the type of schedule I have. It's technically I'm full time. I get my full time salary, but the amount of actual hours where I'm at work is very minimal. So I actually have a lot of time at home, probably more so than somebody with a 9 to 5 job. Um, for example, today is a work day, but I'm at home. Yesterday was a work day, but I was at home, and then I have Friday off as well. And then so
Yeah.
this week I'm on call Wednesday and Thursday, so there is a potential chance that I'll have the whole week off this week.
Uh,
So I'm extremely fortunate with my schedule, and I actually have a lot more time than most people, and I spend a lot of that time with my family at home, and then as well doing Red Fox stuff. Like for the Kickstarter, probably spent a good 6 or 7 hours yesterday just building the Kickstarter for version 2 coming up. So it does allow time for that as well. But so I've been very fortunate with that. So
Yeah, man, and that's why I was asking because, man, Kickstarter stuff it takes a lot of time,
yeah.
and yeah, and going to the next question, I've been really curious on when you got inspired on the deck, Red Fox, where did that came? Because that's not we don't see a lot of playing cards that are based on animals in the
Mhm.
community. At least I haven't seen that much. You know, I think that the first big playing card that was based on an animal that was really success. Well, I haven't seen it yet, but I think the first one that I saw that was really successful was yours. You know, and talk to me about that. Why you got that idea? Okay, that what you said. Okay, I want to make a playing cards of a red fox. Where you got inspired, how you got the idea, how was that creative process, in general, when you get the deck.
Yeah, for sure. It started. I was trying to track back. I think it's about 11 years now, where I originally came up with the idea of of creating my own marked deck of cards. Like I was into Magic, and I wanted a deck of cards that that I could use, that I could build for myself. And it was I sort of came across the old style, where they have like green daub and different types of markings, and they'll wear red glasses or red contacts or something like that to read the markings, to sort of poker cheats. I guess is where the idea stemmed from. If I figured I could use that for Magic, because I wasn't really seeing it being done for Magic, only for card cheats, and some of those decks were running like 80 to 120 to $150 for a deck. So I wanted to make my own, and I kind of got a little disappointed. I guess I tried different things, nothing was really working, and then I sort of had a eureka moment when my wife uh, made a shirt for my son that was based on different colors. It looked like a fish with bubbles, but as soon as you look through a red filter, there's a secret message. And she mentioned that she could should maybe design a deck of cards and draw it for me with using that same concept of the decoder glasses and the sort of the secret message. So we started exploring that. So red sort of came because of the red glasses, or the red filter that filters out all the colors except for the different blue hues and greens and that. So we were coming up with names and different ideas. We were thinking, well, it's kind of a sneaky, sly marking system, kind of like a fox, a little bit sneaky. So that's kind of where the two words red and fox came together. And then
Yeah,
the logo, my wife just started sketching, the red fox logo, and then with the anagram, and we thought,
uh,
that
I
really
haven't
really
seen. Oh, I
fits.
haven't
So,
seen that. That's
so
nice.
yeah, so you have the red
Yeah,
fox, and then
and
it's,
then
yeah,
yeah.
upside down. So you'll see that in our, even in our version 2 deck, it's a little bit um,
Oh,
you know so
that's a lot
it's
of
on
detail.
on the back of all our cards, kind of hiding in the center. Make sure I get that. So
Yeah,
so that'll be a staple of our brand. Is every tuck box and every card back will have the logo somewhere in there, and then she started sort of sketching up our little mascot, our red
that's the
fox
mascot.
there. So
Okay.
so he's hiding on all the different uh,
Yeah.
jokers and the card backs. He's always sneaking in there somewhere. So
I mean, man, that's really awesome because that's something that it makes the deck special. When you get the experience of getting a deck and opening, and I have decks that I have for a long time, and I'm still discovering stuff. Like I've been doing, I've been using a deck for almost a year, let's say, and I say, oh, I didn't see that this deck has this, and that's something that what makes it special, a deck of cards that you got the experience on discover things like that you're having on
yeah,
your deck. Little details, that's what make the difference. on how successful is a brand or not. And yeah, I want to talk about one thing that I'm really I think that it's that it's awesome. You draw, I guess that it was Chris Ramsey on one of the
Yeah.
cards. Where you get that idea, man? And if I guess that he reacted on one of the videos. Talk to me about that, because man, that's really awesome
And
that
there's
you
our
can see. That's awesome. Talk to me how you got how you got that, how that came up into the deck. And actually, I think that he actually saw the design and he reacted. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's the original idea. Like Chris Ramsey is from Canada, and I'm from Canada as well.
Yeah.
He's a couple provinces over in Quebec. I'm more central Manitoba, but
Mhm.
I figured, you know what, he's a fellow Canadian, and we'll see maybe if we actually drew two versions of the king, just in case he was not okay with it. So my wife drew the Chris Ramsey king, and then we had a backup king that we would put in the deck if
Yeah.
he said no. Um, and I figured it'd be a cool idea to sort of do a shout out to him, and would probably help with sales. To be honest, it was sort of it started out with sort of a
Yeah.
gimmick thing that, hey, maybe if we can get him on the cards, people will buy these cards, type of a thing, because we were a little bit unsure what we were doing in the beginning. And so I actually mailed him a prototype deck, and I mailed him. My wife designed a T-shirt. Like Chris Ramsey has a tattoo, I believe it's on his arm somewhere, and it's the tattoo is of a bottle, and inside the bottle is a mermaid.
Oh,
And the reasoning, or the symbology behind that, as far as I know, that he explained, was that when you find something precious like that mermaid, you want to put them in a bottle to keep it. You want to protect that or keep it. So my wife designed a T-shirt for him that has the exact same mermaid, but the mermaid is outside of the bottle, and the mermaid is holding a bottle, and inside the bottle is our red fox. So it's sort of symbolizing that, the thing that he thinks is precious thinks that our red fox is precious.
yeah.
And then the bubbles on the T-shirt from the mermaid being underwater, when you put the red decoder glasses on, it will actually say his name, Chris Ramsey. But without the glasses, you would never know. It just looks like colorful bubbles with the mermaid holding our bottled red fox. So I sent him that stuff, and I believe he received that stuff. And I also sent him. I tried a few different avenues. I sent him a message on Instagram as well, because he's a hard guy to get a hold of, and he didn't quite respond right away. So then I ended up making a short little magic trick video while I was in the airplane, and putting it
Yeah.
on his Reddit page, and then it actually got upvoted. I guess I was saying, hey, everybody, I need your help to get him to notice this. So it actually got upvoted at one point it was the top video of all time on his Reddit. So then the next
Oh,
video that he had done, it was as soon as he logged in, then this is the first video that showed up. And he had between then he had messaged me on Instagram as well, and said that he had got the package, and said that it was all right to use his face on the card. So now it's become part of I call it our Red Fox story. And each version that goes on, uh, we're going to be keeping Chris Ramsey, and we'll possibly be adding more different faces onto the cards.
cool.
Uh, uh, so this new version we have, which was a huge part of our version one, and he's a Penn and Teller Fooler, and from UK, and he's going to be a big
Yeah.
part of our second version as well. So we're adding him onto one of our kings, and moving forward, we'll see how it goes. We might not add somebody every single time, but if as we feel, we'll add people to the cards, and we'll sort of develop. So as you see the new versions, you'll see the same faces on some of the suits, but then on others there'll be new faces that are added. So
Yeah, man, that's really awesome. Adding, as I said, adding those type of details, that's what make the experience of opening and having a deck of cards great. Because not everybody can have the amount of work and the amount of passion that put into the work. That's why designing a deck is not for everyone.
Yeah,
And the amount of work that you put, that's really awesome. That what makes your playing cards really, really successful and special. So yeah, I've heard that there was like I am not gonna call it controversy.
yeah,
I don't know if you've seen the Ekaterina playing card that are the
yeah,
Fox playing cards. Yeah, I've seen that you guys have like some kind of I don't know. I don't want to say controversy because I've seen his history that she was very like, okay, I'm gonna do this so he can make this. Talk to me a little bit about how that backdoor story of when you got in talk of the Fox playing cards on Katarina, and how you managed, to in terms of your name, if you on that moment think of changing the name of the brand, because of that. Talk to me a little bit about that.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was just sort of an unfortunate uh, overlap just in the names of the cards, and it was I feel a little bit bad for Ekaterina for um, have that just that we came up with a similar name. I mean, our cards are completely different. They're no in no way are they similar at all. Um,
Yeah.
but we came up with the name Red Fox in January of 2019, and we did that outside of I didn't know Ekaterina or her brand or her cards or anything like that. I had done a few quick Google searches to see Red Fox cards, and I didn't really come up with anything at all at the time. So we went ahead with our brand name at that time, and I secured um, the Instagram handle, the website, redfoxplayingcards.com, and sort of got all that stuff together because at that moment in time, I don't think she had released her Red Fox cards, but in the background, she was actually developing her Red Fox cards. So I guess by the time she went to um, release the cards, then she realized that we had the name already. We had the website and the Instagram. So it was just unfortunate that when we were researching, we didn't come across her cards at all. And it just sort of we both happen to have the same name. Like our cards are like whimsical and hand drawn and have our own logo and stuff like that. And her cards are they're beautiful cards, but they're completely different. You know. So she kind of contacted me and said, "Oh, hey, I have these Red Fox cards." She released her cards before my cards were released. So she said, they're already released. Like, and I said, well, I'm sorry, but like I already have we have the logo and the design. Like we're already a big ways into to doing this. Yeah, it's just completely unfortunate coincidence. And she said, okay, she'll change her name to just simply Fox Cards because I had the website and all that. So I said, you know what, that's cool. If you're Fox Cards by Ekaterina, which I believe is like a one-off deck, and I wish her the best. I hope she sells out of those. And then we have our Red Fox, which is more of a brand in itself.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have multiple decks going forward. But yeah, it was just unfortunate how that went. But I'm very glad that she was gracious enough to change her name to Fox Cards by Ekaterina so that we could not have conflicting names for the cards. So
Yeah, and that's something that it unfortunately it happens. That's not obviously that's nobody's fault. But yeah, it's really good that you guys talk and try to find a way of how solve that, and that's really awesome. And the next question comes about obviously your big project that is around the corner is the version 2. Talk to me a little bit about that. Obviously, you can't tell me
yeah,
anything because It will ruin the surprise. But yeah, you're launching the Kickstarter on September 23, I guess. 23. Correct me if I'm wrong.
2022. Yeah, September
Two. Okay.
22nd. Yeah, at
20.
1 o'clock in the afternoon central. So
The version two, and it's talk to me about that. You know, when you got how you got inspired on changing the design, because obviously it's Red Fox, but the design is completely different of that. Talk to me on how you managed, you know, to relate the concept with this new deck.
yeah, the yeah, like Red Fox is going to be a brand. So now it's instead of version one, we're into version two because it's got a completely different back design.
Yeah,
There's obviously things that are the same. We have our Red Fox logo is the same. Our red fox will show up in the deck as well on the cards as well as the tuck box. Um, the pip cards like the 2, 3 to all the way to 10. We're keeping the same one-way pip design. We really like how those turned out, and the court cards have been mostly redone. I think the only one that didn't change was Chris Ramsey, just because the Chris Ramsey card was really tailored for Chris himself. And if you look at the card, there's a few different things inside the court. Um, like there's puzzle pieces. There's a lightning bolt, which kind of represents his Tesla car that he bought. We sort of have his deconstructed logo in there, so it's really tailored to him. So there's nothing on the front of the card that really corresponds to the back, and that's unique about his card. So that's the only card that didn't change. All the rest of the core cards, uh, when you look at version two court cards, you'll see that on the court cards there'll be designs that correspond to the back of the card. So there'll be things that are water related or octopus related
yeah,
or sunken ship related. Um, they've all been redrawn. So we have a lot of similar colors between the decks. Um, so there's a lot that sort of goes hand in hand. You can look at both of them and tell that they're both the same branded cards. But in another sense, it's completely redone artwork. It's underwater themed, obviously this time with our octopus, but yeah, still our brand, and it still shows. So if that answers your question.
yeah, yeah. And they're going to be market, right? Or this version is not going to be market.
Yeah, version two will be marked. So they do
Okay.
have yeah, the secret markings as well with the decoder glasses. So version one was marked and version two is marked, and then we have our version 1.1, which is an unmarked deck. Moving forward from this deck,
Yeah.
we have some ideas that we're going to have some unmarked decks, but they're still going to be utilizing the red decoder glasses in the sense that there's going to be secret pictures or messages kind of hidden on the card, but all the card backs are going to be the same, so that you can play poker with them, or Crazy Eights or whatever card game, and have an unmarked deck of cards. Some people like the marked, some people like the unmarked, but some of our versions going forward are going to have the best of both worlds, where you can use the decoder glasses to see some secret markings, but it's going to be an unmarked deck of cards that you can play games with. So
Yeah, yeah. Talk to me on how you know, I know that this is you already talked a little bit earlier, but talk to me about how you got because every market system is different, you know. But
yeah,
yours is kind of because you can see, you know, when you put the glasses and see the cards, it's like you're having like a secret map and you're having like watching inside the card, you know. Talk to me how you get how you inspire on getting that type of technology. I will talk, yeah, because
yeah.
it's not like some kind of technology, that you can see throughout the cards with those red glasses and how you got the marking system. Because to be honest, that's really awesome. That I love
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah. The decoder system it's an old system, but I don't think it's ever been done this way with cards or much anything else. To tell you the truth, the when you Google like red decoder messages, what you're gonna find is somebody writes a little message with green and then scribbles red over top of it. And then when you put the glasses on, it kind of the red blends out, and then you can see the green message
Yeah.
in between. So I mean, our cards are so colorful. I give all the credit to my wife um, for coming up with the idea, but she's her and my son actually have it. It's called synesthesia, and
Okay.
it's a good thing. It's not a bad disease or anything.
Uh,
It's where they actually see colors for different things. Like different letters have different colors. So they associate somebody's name will have a specific color. So it's very interesting. Like my son, if you ask him, what color is my name or your name or whatever, he'll actually tell you what color your name is, because
okay.
when you say your name, it will associate with a specific color, and you can ask him a month later, and it's still the same color, like it doesn't change. So it's very interesting. So my wife and even my 7-year-old son, everything, they love lots of colors. And so my wife came up with the idea of blending different shades of not just red, but pinks and oranges and a whole spectrum of colors that will essentially blend to one color when you put the red glasses on. And then there's the other contrasting colors like the blues and the purples and the greens, which will stand out. So so all the colors on the back of the card are very specifically chosen uh, for their properties of whether they blend into the red or whether they stand out from the red. So when you're looking at a card back and you're seeing, all these colors,
These
tons
details.
of
Yeah.
colors with your eyes, you can't distinguish one color from standing out from another one because there's just a lot of different colors. But as soon as you put the red glasses on,
It's all clear
lots of
up.
those colors disappear and some of those colors stand out, and then you see the secret message or the secret marking system. And then once you learn which colors you're looking for, I can take the back of a card without the glasses, and I can see, here we have the five of diamonds just by looking at, where those different blues are hiding in the
Yeah.
back, the reds and oranges. So
That's really awesome, man. And yeah, just to finish, this new Kickstarter, it will be the Red Fox V2 version. It will be printed by USBCC, right?
correct. Yes.
USBCC, and the fulfillment will be with Gambler Warehouse, right?
No, we actually do our own fulfillment, which is again that's a little
Oh,
bit different. But yeah, we
yeah.
get. I do have a deal with Murphy's Magic, so a portion of the
Oh,
cards will go to Murphy's, and then they'll sell to the retailers so that people can buy through their favorite magic store online or brick and mortar magic stores that order from Murphy's Magic. And then all the Kickstarter stuff we fulfill ourselves. We mail out. Um, but yeah, so we like to keep control over everything. So I have all
yeah.
the most of the stock of the remaining cards in my house. So rather than a
Yeah.
warehouse somewhere in the U.S. So
Yeah, that's also cool. Really great because every single brand works differently. So yeah, once again, your Kickstarter will be available on September 22nd at
yeah,
1 p.m. Central
correct.
Zone. So yeah, once again, Kelly, thanks for your time for having this little moment with us, with me, and it's a really good work that you're doing with your playing card brand. And that has, I said, those little details, and that's what makes the experience on having a deck of cards and what makes different from the others. So yeah, once again, guys, I will be leaving the description on the Kickstarter once it's available on my profile. I will also leave a link to his Instagram profile, which he uploads really good content. And I will really also will leave the website from his page, which it's really cool. That's where you get info of all his products, on how the story of the brand came up, on everything it is. So yeah, Kelly, once again, thanks for your time. I really wish you the best on the Kickstarter account with me. To be honest, count with me. I really like your products, and it's going to be really interesting to see what this version it comes now. So yeah, once again, thank you for your time, and hope that this is not the first and the last time that we talk each other. So yeah, thank you for your time, and we will see you in the next episode.
Sounds
Goodbye.
good. Thanks for having me.